emotions sometimes can run high. Whether it's during a real game or just a practice session, players are competitive. They talk trash, they get aggressive, and sometimes it just boils over. Obviously, recently we had this escalation between Draymond Green and Jordan Poole. Two recent NBA champions got into a fight. Too bad we later saw a video of the whole thing. Too bad for everyone involved. Embarrassing for both parties. Now, everyone's wondering, what's gonna happen? Can they continue playing on the same team? And to figure that out, we might need to look at other NBA boxers and see what happened to them. Hey guys, really long time no see. I hope you're doing awesome. Let's go. So probably the most famous fight happened between Michael Jordan and current Warriors coach Steve Kerr. They were going at it during a practice session. Jordan fouled Kerr hard. Kerr punched him. Jordan punched him right in the eye. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that Jordan also punched Will Perdue in the face during practice for running illegal screens. All this punching from Jordan didn't escalate into serious stuff, as all boys won a championship together afterwards. And in Kerr's case, his relationship with Jordan actually got better after the punch. He said he respected him more after the incident and actually trusted him more on the court. I guess not all was bad. One of the more recent situations happened 5 years ago when in a training camp, two Chicago Bulls players got into it. Bobby Portis punched Nikola Mirotic during a closed practice, breaking his orbital bone and giving him a concussion. Mirotic ended up missing 23 games and Portis was suspended for 8 games. Portis apologized to Mirotic and they actually played really well together when both returned to the court. The Bulls won 7 straight in a tanking season. Eventually, Mirotic was traded. Now, Mirotic is playing in Europe and Portis is a one-time NBA champion with the Bucks. We also know that Shaq and Kobe didn't exactly have a friendly relationship when they both were playing. While mostly that beef was kept alive with words, there was a situation during a scrimmage where both almost got into a serious fight. In an interview with Jimmy Kimmel, Kobe said, "Shaq threw the first punch and I had to slip it. I threw one back, everyone jumped in and broke it apart. At that point, you gotta say you're gonna beat the hell out of me, but you're going to know I'm not going to back down." The incident wasn't considered particularly serious by the parties involved. "We kept playing. It was during a scrimmage," said Kobe Bryant. Speaking of Shaq, he also got himself involved in situations when he was a young buck with the Orlando Magic. Scott Skiles, the former point guard for the Orlando Magic, told about the situation to the Chicago Tribune. "Actually, Shaq got into a scrap with one of my teammates, and I got tired of everybody separating them. I went over and said, 'Why don't you guys stop faking it and just fight?' Then he took a swing at me. There were many punches landed. It turned into a whole team melee. When I charged O'Neal, he had me by the neck in a headlock. My neck was sore for like 6 weeks. I don't think I'd go that route again." When Shaq was asked for his version of the story, he smiled and said, "Nothing happened. That's my guy." Back in 2014, right before the playoffs started, 2 Indiana Pacers got into it. The newly acquired guard Evan Turner and Lance Stephenson got into it during the last practice of the regular season. Lance Stephenson is known to be a hothead, and that season, as reported by Woj, a lot of Pacer players were tired of whatever it is that Stephenson tries to do to irritate teammates. Both guys brawled until Luis Scola and David West separated them and dragged a cursing and cut Evan Turner out of the court. Both players downplayed the incident and the only real proof was a few scratches on Turner's neck. That season, the Pacers finished first in the Eastern Conference, but lost to the Miami Heat in the conference finals. Both players were free agents after the season and weren't retained by the Pacers. A much more dramatic thing happened in the Washington Wizards locker room back in 2010. Apparently, during a dispute over gambling debt. The argument started when Javaris Crittenden became enraged at Gilbert Arenas for refusing to make good on a gambling debt. Arenas drew a gun and Crittenden did the same. Thankfully, it didn't turn into shooting, but then Commissioner David Stern suspended both players for the remainder of the season. Despite being a 3-time All-Star, Arenas ended up playing just 87 more games in the NBA and was out of the league at age of 30. Javaris Crittenden, on the other hand, never played in the NBA again and now is a convicted murderer. He's currently serving a 23-year sentence in prison. So situations happen, and this latest one with Draymond Green and Jordan Poole definitely isn't the worst one, but the video, man, that's a lot. You certainly can't pretend that nothing happened. I think that this is the beginning of the end of Draymond Green in Golden State. As much of a core player as he has been during the Warriors' successful runs, he isn't that important anymore. The Warriors have a lot of young guys coming in, and Draymond, while still very good at defense and being the heart of a team, is also becoming a problem. He gets a lot of fouls, gets into a lot of arguments with the refs, and now is also getting into it with his teammates. He will be looking to get paid, and I don't think Golden State is the team that has to do it. I don't think any team needs to pay him top dollars, as he is very limited offensively and his defense is starting to fade. So in the end, I think it might be this year, if that, and then Draymond moves on to a different team. Maybe even gets traded during this season. What do you guys think about this situation? What happens? Do they solve this and play like nothing happened, or one of the involved players will have to go play somewhere else? Please leave your comment down below. I'm very happy to be back, guys, and don't hesitate to leave a like for the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching. This is Purple Prince, and I'm out.